with health benefits and those issues are much larger and drive the future economy of the state much more than a film tax credit or almost any other program will. I know this is my last answer, so I'll just say this to all of you. There's going to be a big discussion in this state this year that's going to be driven by the Senate president on the question of affordability in this state vis-a-vis pensions and health benefits for public workers. Now, you know this is a conversation that I started when I was governor, and we made some progress in 2011 on it, but not enough because we had, we could just forge so much compromise on it. But you need to know that if this problem does not get resolved, this state will be bankrupted. And I see, with all due respect, people from public sector unions marching around this state now with different colored shirts on, saying they want fairness in their health benefits. I just want to remind you all of something, okay? If you're a state or local public sector worker, when I became governor, you paid nothing for your health insurance in the main, nothing. Not just you didn't have a copay, you didn't pay for any of your premium. Your entire cost was paid for by the taxpayer. We put in a system that said, based upon how much you make, you pay a certain percentage up to 30% of your premium, really up to 35%, but they made that special category just for people who make $175,000 or more, of which I was the only one. So they made me pay 5% more just for fun. But there was a sliding scale where people pay up to 30% of the cost of their health care premium. And remember that we have the most expensive, expansive health insurance for any public worker in America. Don't take my word for it. The Obama administration categorized our health insurance as Platinum Plus. It is a category that is owned only by the state of New Jersey, of any public workers anywhere in the country. And to give you, because I had that insurance, okay? You know how much I paid for a prescription? Any prescription, no matter what it was? $3. $3. I want to thank all of you. Because the difference between $3 and what it really cost, you paid for. We can't continue this way. We cannot continue this way between that and a pension system that guarantees certain payments for life when we keep living longer and longer and longer, and folks are paying a small amount into it. The typical public worker in this state spends through the amount of money they put into their pension in the first 2.5 years of their retirement. After that, every dollar is dollars that have to be paid by the taxpayer or by investments on that money. So the Senate president, has got this website called the Pathway to Progress, where he's going to be talking about having to take this on. And all I'm saying to all of you is this, now it's not me anymore, okay? I understand that this issue got identified with me, and I was the big bad wolf on this stuff, and, I hated teachers and all the rest of that stuff, which was all nonsense. But fine. Here's your chance. It's not about me anymore. Not about me. It's about you. I'm not going to be the one out there doing 150 town halls telling all of you that, the end is near. And you can't blame me anymore for it. I'm gone. I'm just paying taxes like all the rest of you. But I've warned you for 8 years about this. And I got vilified by the teachers union, who spent $30 million in ads against me over 8 years on this issue. Now they've got their hero in the State House. Governor Murphy is the hero of the NJEA. What's going to happen now? You all have to decide. Because remember something. Every one of these dollars they spend isn't theirs. It's yours. And that's why I looked at you and said, see what you brought up? See what you got me going on? The film tax credit turns out to be minor league when you realize that we pay $4 billion a year, $4 billion, just for the health insurance. $4 billion. Let alone what we do on the pension. And so there's going to be a conversation about this, and you've got one of two ways to go. We can bury our head in the sand, say it's not our problem, we don't want to make anybody angry, God forbid. We don't want to make a teacher in our local school angry. We don't want to tell anybody they can't have everything they want to have, because God forbid that'd be a terrible thing to do. Or We could say, you know what? No one else in the country does this. We can't do it anymore. And we're driving people out of our state because it's too expensive. And even with all these taxes, we're going to go bankrupt anyway. I feel liberated by the fact that I've been saying it for 8 years, and I pray that people will solve it once I'm gone. I won't get credit for it, and I'm not waiting to get credit for it. But I'll know that I started the conversation. What's much more important is that it gets solved. And even when you leave the governorship, that doesn't change. You still feel a sense of responsibility because you had the greatest job that this state can give to any of its citizens. And I had it for 8 years. And I feel incredibly fortunate. And I hope that what you get out of the book, besides some really great stories about Trump and some of his people,